Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today we are here talking cruising. So it is finally time to start to update some of the documents that I have in my home binder. I have a video on my channel and I will link it in the description where I have flipped through several different binders that I have set up as part of my home reference system. One of those binders is my travel binder, and in that travel binder I include notes for upcoming trips, ideas for upcoming trips. It has a copy of our packing list, all sorts of different things in there related to vacation planning, and one or two of the pages is related to cruising. So I wanted to show these to you. The first thing is they're on different sheets of paper. I think just for the time being I'm going to survive the fact that they're on different papers, but what we have here is, first of all, a blank sheet that's right here. I did add a cruise packing list right on top like that, and then on the other side of it I did write with Sharpie, that's why it kind of shows through, but it says cruise vacation. This is from 2020, and these were some of the packing list items that were specific to a cruise, and so I do want to try to update this to include these things. And then I have here, actually let me show you this first. I also have on this side another packing list, and so this one also from 2022. I actually wrote at the same time, so these two I wrote at the same time. So these are all just things that I've had as ideas, things that I really want to make sure that I pack. Some of these are duplicates for my general packing list. So for example, I would, for any trip, pack my medications. I would definitely make sure that I pack swimsuits and sunscreen for most vacations that I'm going on, especially ones that have a pool. So these are not things that I would need to add that are specific to a cruise. I want to look through these lists and make sure that I'm listing basically cruise specific packing items. So for example, here in terms of electricity, I want to make sure that I have a nightlight. That's something I don't pack when I go to a hotel. Definitely on a cruise ship though, in the stateroom when I have an interior room, I want to have a nightlight just so that way I can see. I want an extension cord, so there are usually in the staterooms not that many outlets, so I want to have an outlet or an extension cord that allows me to plug in multiple different things to charge. In terms of clothing, I would pack the normal clothing that I would wear for any trip, but I also want to make sure that I have several outfits for the cruise elegant nights. I want to make sure that I have lanyards to put my stateroom key in, C-bands for motion sickness, and then this one, the earmuffs and noise, that one is on the general packing list. I don't necessarily need that for cruising. So same thing here. I have ID, birth certificate, and passport. So the ID and birth certificate for the girls, passport for me. Cruise paperwork. I definitely like to have a printout of my cruise paperwork. And then here I have luggage tags, vaccine cards, which we no longer need. This was like pretty much like immediately after the cruise industry opened after COVID. They required vaccine cards. That's, I think, no longer required. I need to check that. An exemption letter for this at the time was for Sophia because she was young and she didn't get her vaccinations, right? And then proof of COVID tests. Again, I don't think that's required anymore. And then right here it says cash for porters. And then right here there's a small list of decorations. So there's door decorations. I like to decorate the stateroom door, magnetic hooks to be able to hang things up, and then this says right here drinks, canned drinks. You're allowed 12 cans per person, right? So again, I want to update this list, and some of the things that I'll be using to update it will be from this list. And again, I'm trying to remove the things that are not cruise specific and update it here. But in fact, I think I'm going to do that as a separate video because of what I want to be able to do is decorate this page. I don't know how long this video will be. We'll see. I might have to fast forward through some of it just because I feel like it might be long to sit and watch me write. I don't know. We'll see, okay? Then for this page, this is the only other one I didn't talk about. I made this a long time ago. I actually really love this page. Super cute. Use some Wrong Wrong Girl stickers from the Happy Planner and Wrong Wrong collaboration. Use some letters as well to put Carnival Cruises here. I have my VIFP number, like basically my ID with Carnival Cruises, and then how many cruise or sea days it would take to reach platinum. And so this is just a list of some of the cruises. I have since gone on several other cruises, so definitely I can update this as well. And again, if I'm updating all of these pages, I feel like it might be a long video, so I'll either break it up or fast forward through some of it, just depending on my mood. So I want to update this as well and include some of the other cruises that we've been on, but I definitely want to at least start off with this back page. This has been empty, and again, actually, now that I'm looking at it, this needs some cover up. Oh, well, maybe I'll just use stickers. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to use this page, right? And I'm going to move these stickers or these post-it notes over here, because what I want to be able to do is fill it out so that way I have a 4-page set. And so which order do I want it to be in? Okay, so I think I want this to be like the front page. I want it to be the first page in these 4 pages, and then we would flip over and get something. Yeah, okay, so I think for right now I'm going to put this here. Right, in terms of order, this is what's making sense to me. I want it to be this page first, just to show, you know, like the big highlights of where I've cruised before. And then here I do have several other cruises that are not Carnival, and I think I will go ahead and put that here. I think it might be a separate video, so I'm going to just leave this blank for today. And then right here, I've just put these cruise list pages right here, and I keep moving them, but I think I want to combine it with this page right here. And I want to, right, so again, Carnival cruises, other cruises I've taken. This page I want to turn into a, I guess like it's not a bucket list, it's going to be a planning page. So it will be all the things that I need to do before the cruise that are not packing related. So clearly I'm going to pack, but what are some of the other things that I need to do in order to get ready for the cruise? And so that will go here, and then I'll have the packing list. All right, so I think I've got a game plan. The only other thing, and I'm just talking out loud, I do want to eventually change out one or the other, and I think in fact this might be the page that would be the easiest to update and move, and so I'm going to actually go ahead and do it. I'm going to try to find another sheet of this filler paper so that way I can make the 4-page set using this paper. So let me go try to hunt that down. Okay, so I was able to find just 2 more sheets of this. I actually probably have a handful more. I think they're in one of my home binders, but I don't recall exactly which one. So it's enough to get me through this project. So I'm going to, I think for time's sake, only do the work here of the planning page. So I have right now, again, this page, I will put the other cruises that I've taken here, and then I will save a page, and then on this page I'm going to put the planning, and that planning will be essentially the one side, and then this cruise vacation I will do on a separate video where I am putting together my packing list. Okay, I've got a plan. Okay, so I'm going to take this, then I don't even need this page. I did want to show it all to you, but we're going to get into it. So I've pulled some sticker books for this purpose. I've got Adventure Calls, which is kind of, I feel like it's actually kind of a little bit more camp or road trip themed, but I see these are like a very nautical theme. I don't know. Let's see. That's cute. City vibes, right? I kind of wanted to stay with like the beachy vibes or like the summer feel, right? So maybe some of these stickers would work. All right, maybe some of these as well. Okay, yeah, so the front set with the more summer vibe I think would work. And since I did have wrong stickers on one of the pages, I pulled out this everyday book, which is basically boxes, and I've got this everyday, which is I'm not quite sure how they're different actually now that I'm looking at it, but they have a different design. So this one also mostly boxes, right? I don't know that I would use that, but I did pull them out, and then I wanted to add some florals, and again that was because there are florals on the pages, and the one that I'm trying to find and want to match is going to be this set that looks like this. This did not come well, I think it did come from Happy Planner. Okay, so I have some other that are not Happy Planner, but definitely this style of like being very abstracted. I want to kind of mimic that. So I pulled out this book, right? And I'm thinking there should be some stickers like that in here. Let's see. And if not, I'm just going to use some other florals that are similar in nature. I don't want to lean to this style. That might be, you know, too far away from the style, right? And I don't think I need any of the headers or any of that type of stuff, but maybe, right? So I think just in terms of flipping through it, the set that seemed to match the best were like some of these, right? And I can definitely add more stickers as I go into it, but we're going to kind of maybe stay in this set of stickers. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think we're going to stay back here. So I'm going to leave this open here, so that way I'll have that ready. Oh, and I forgot to get some stickers for alphabets. So we're going to go ahead then, because I didn't bring it out. I'm going to go ahead then and use, maybe there's going to be one that says planning list, or something very similar. Let's see. I see list, so I'm holding on to that one. Let's see. Party, time, day, date, night, weekend, vacation. All right, vacation is good. I'm going to save vacation. Lunch, dinner, breakfast, brunch, vacation list. I feel like I need a planning. All right, so let me just look one more time, but let me go ahead and take the list so I don't have to hold it. I'll put that there. Exchange, work, conference, school, reservations. Let's see, wedding, party, anniversary, birthday, email, errands, meeting, reschedule, plan. All right, so it says plan. I like vacation plan. All right, so I'm gonna do vacation plan. I don't need the list. If there was a planning, that would be perfect. And I don't think there were any. Did I read any that said ing on it? But okay, we're gonna just call it. Okay, I'm just gonna put back the list, right? Instead of doing all that. Okay, so I've got vacation list. This is actually kind of small, so I'm going to go in here, add a piece of, just to get it a little. Okay, and then at this point I am going to decorate a little bit with some of the stickers, and I'm going to be going through here and essentially writing out several things that I think are important to do before you get on the cruise ship. And now this list, just full disclosure, is coming from Mommy Cruise. That would be, sorry, not Mommy Cruise, Cruise Mommy. That's CruiseMummy. You can definitely Google her. She's based out of the UK, and she blogs about cruises. She has a vacation planning list, and again, very different from, in my mind, from a packing list. Of course you're going to pack, but these are all the things that you need to do in terms of putting your vacation together. And so she has a list of 33, and so I'm going to put those 33 things here. And I'm going to, I think, do a mix of like boxes, floral boxes, and some I think mini boxes, some of the smaller boxes in here, just to get the wrong girls in here. I'm going to maybe use these boxes and white out the labels, and some bigger boxes, you know, just mix it up a little bit. All right, so I'll use some of these, right? And at this point I'm going to fast forward just to get these boxes in here. It will be just putting 33 because that's how long her list is, and we'll get those in here and then we'll come back. Okay, I'm realizing it says 32, so there'll be 32 things. And in fact, some of them I'm going to skip, so I'm going to focus on putting 30 in here. Okay, now we'll fast forward. Okay, I put as many boxes as I could, but now I feel like out of room. So it looks super cute, right? So now what I'm going to do is get my trusty pen. And like I said, I am going to be writing out what I saw. And again, it is Cruise Mummy, Mummy, from the UK, so .co.uk, and it was a vacation planning list. Now she does have a free printable, so if you want to just print it out, you can certainly do that. But I'm just going to start writing all the things here. My goal with this sheet is to be able to just kind of leave it in my planner and look at everything. I'm not going to check it off, but I'm going to look to make sure all of these things are being planned. If there are things that do need to be done, I'm going to be moving it to my catch-all. So this is just a reference page. It's not going to be something that I'm going to need to copy or, check off. I do need to check it off in the sense of doing these things, but it's more so just for reference. And I'm noticing some of it. I haven't really done a great job of removing it. Okay, so I'm just going to start writing, but I will read through everything that is on here. So the first one is check that passports are valid. Right, that's a great one, just because you have to make sure that there are 6 months still left on your passport before you go on a cruise. So 6 months past the cruise. The second one on the list, I'm going to read it, but it's not going to be one that goes on here, is check to see if you need any visas. I normally never cruise to a location where I require a visa. I feel like that's more so for like flying internationally and going to an international port of call, or like a port where I'm debarking internationally. So the next one is check if immigration forms are needed. Again, I don't think that's something that I will need. So that will be on the list for her printable, but it's not going to be going on my list. The fourth one is get a travel insurance quote. I think that's really good, especially just in case of emergencies. Traveling with kids is really important to be able to take a look at that, and especially while you're traveling, having a travel insurance quote can be very helpful. Right. The fifth one is check what vaccinations are needed. Right. So I will definitely put that on here to make sure that I check for required vaccinations. All right. 6 on her list is book time off of work. Very, very important. Don't want to make sure you forget to plan for your vacation with work. The 7th one says arrange for pet or house sitters. Make sure that I contact my house sitter. In fact, I'm going to put it on here. So I'm going to arrange for my house sitter. We don't have any pets, so I'm not worried about that component of it. Right. Then number 8 says advise the cruise line of special needs or dietary requirements. We do not have any of special needs or dietary requirements, so we definitely can skip that one, but I'm just putting that on the list of things for you. Reading her entire list essentially to you. Number 9 says request your preferred bed configuration. Definitely need to do that. This is something for Carnival, and so I'm actually going to put some of the things that I will need to log into the Carnival website in these 2 big boxes. I don't know, I just thought that would make sense. All right, so the next one, again, something I would do on the Carnival website, is request dining time and preferred table size. So my family, when we travel, we like to be at a 4 top, just so that way it's just a family of 4 rather than me being placed with a larger group. Okay, so number 11 says get travel insurance. That's right here, and so I'm going to just leave that as related. So number 12 says download the cruise line app. And that's very important to make sure that you have access to, the countdown, and also, that way you don't have to worry about doing it right when you get on the ship. All right. 13 says book car parking. That's interesting. I'm going to put that on the list. I've never actually done that before, so I'm going to put that on the list. That's new for me. All these others I've done, but definitely this one I have have not. So that's new from this list. So I'm glad to be reading through it. Some ports, especially if I haven't been to that port before, I don't know what's needed. All right, number 14 says book port transfers. So if I don't plan to drive to the port, then certainly I would want to make sure that I have my Uber, I have the airport transfers that I need to. We always drive to the parking, to the cruise terminal and park ourselves, so I don't need to have that, but just making sure that I read it out for you. 15 says book any hotel stays. I'm going to put that right here. So book hotel stays before and after the trip. That's very important to make sure that you do that, because you just want to make sure that you have enough time to get to the port, to get to the cruise, and especially for me, as we drive in for all of our cruises, we sometimes travel quite a bit to get to the destination, so for sure. Now, for her list, she does split it up into the things that you do before a cruise, the things you would do immediately after booking a cruise, and then things that you would do a few months, a few weeks, a few days before you sail. I'm just kind of lumping it all together. Number 16 says plan days ashore and book excursions. All right, so I'm just going to keep that short and sweet and just say book excursions. Right, and then for 17, it says pay the balance of your cruise. That's very important. All right, so pay cruise balance. You gotta make sure it's all paid in full, so that way you can make sure everything is ready for you to get on the ship. Right, a few weeks before your cruise. Number 18 says book hair and beauty appointments. All right, so I'll just put book spa appointments. Sometimes I don't do any spa appointments beforehand, but sometimes on the cruise I do all of that, and just look for the spa package deals that they sometimes run while you're on the ship. Number 19 says check in online. All right, so I'll just stick it in one of these boxes, make sure I check in online and get everything done with that. 20 says book onboard activities and entertainment. So book onboard activities. Right, this to me includes dining, but I think she might have a separate one that is dining. Yes, so number 21 says book specialty dining and drinks packages. I consider that all in here, so that I'll just leave that one off. 22 says register for the kids club. We definitely have to do that. We have to make sure that the girls are registered for the kids clubs, so that way they have access to that. 23 says get foreign currency. I will put that on here, but I pretty much never do that. We just pay in cash, like in US dollars, for our cruises, and that has worked out fine for us. 24 says print luggage tags. Definitely have to do that. All right, 25 says print boarding passes. Those, a lot of this I do at the same time that I'm doing my online check-in. I just book onboard activities, register for the kids club, print luggage tags, print boarding passes, but I will list them separately just in case. All right, it does have 26 print any other documents, so I will leave that here too. Print any other documents. The ones that come to mind for me is sometimes I will print like a travel planner or something like that for the cruise, so make sure that I get all of those printed out. It could be itinerary, travel insurance policy, any excursion or activity tickets, so those, I just read that from the website. Making sure you have printed copies I think is very important, just because you can certainly use your phone. You will use your phone a lot on the cruise, but there are certain things that, you know, it's just nice to have a copy of it, so that way you're not dealing with that. All right, 27 says buy clothes and toiletries. I don't actually do that, so I'm going to leave that off the list, but just make sure that you've got the toiletries that you want, travel sizes or whatever sizes that you can use for toiletries. If you're planning to purchase any new clothing for the trip, make sure you get all of that done a few weeks before the cruise, so that way you can get it ready. All right, and then the week before the cruise, it says notify bank of travel plans. I think that's important, so I'll just put notify bank. All right, 29 says check the weather forecast. That's a good one. I never do that. Check weather forecast. Right. 30 says pack your bags. For sure. And of course I have a separate packing list for that. 31 says send your itinerary to a relative. So definitely send travel plans to a relative. My house sitter is my relative, so I'll just put that. Send to a relative. All right, I'll just put relative all the way out. Okay, and then it says fill in the health questionnaire. That's at the same time as checking in online, but I'll put that here. Fill out health questionnaire. All right, and that was well, that was 32 and she had a 33. The day before your cruise, put on your out of office. Actually, that's a really good one. All right, so put on out of office response for work, right? And now I have a giant box here. I'm gonna put something like enjoy vacation because I'm gonna put enjoy the anticipation. This is a planning sheet, right? So I'll just put enjoy the anticipation of another cruise, just to fill it in. I didn't want to leave it blank. Okay, and that's what we've got here for my list. I didn't actually fast forward through that, so hopefully that was not too long, but I think it looks so adorable. All right, it has a couple of florals. It has the Wrong girls in here. It's very boxy and I love it. I think it's so nice to have a reference sheet like that. The only one that's kind of throwing me off is this one, so I might just go back in and replace that one, but otherwise it looks beautiful to me. So yeah, this is my vacation plan, all the things that I need to do to plan before I get on the cruise ship. So I'm super excited about that, and it's ready to go, ready for me to reference for our next cruise. I am just going through and updating my home binders, and so that is just the goal, is just to get some of these documents done and put up and into the home binders in its 2025 form. They definitely do change as the years and as the months go by, so I don't consider this like set in stone or like the final version of anything. Definitely want to update it as I need to, but I like having the reference here all in one spot just to make sure that I have done everything. As I've gotten older, it's just been nice to be able to have these reference sheets so that way I don't forget things, because my memory is starting to go, especially with 2 kids and having all the things happening. So yeah, I am done with this sheet. I hope you enjoyed this video and just some of the things that the cruise mommy thought was important for planning for a cruise vacation. So if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.